What's that? Oh. You want to tell everybody what you're talking about? I can barely hear you. You got to jump over here.
I just got a text message from Matt. And he said that a bunch of people came in this weekend.
Our winners in the Know the Show.
Yeah. So how this works is, Matt will offer up a $25 gift certificate and he passes it along. And sometimes this works out for the people that sponsor Know the Show, and sometimes people come in and spend just $25.
Yeah, sometimes people want to, just spend their $25, see what it's worth, and other people will, put the $25 worth, a bigger tab.
So he texted me. He said a bunch of winners came in this weekend. I was like, cool, and I wanted to know the truth. So I said, did they spend more than the $25? And he said that they did. So congratulations to winners of Know the Show for the past month. Thank you so much for supporting our local businesses and the people that support this program, because that is good for the local economy, and it is good for our employment. Right?
Yeah, and Matt is a sponsor of the show, but he's also a friend, and we felt bad because over the weekend he hurt his finger
really bad, and
it looked like he required stitches on that thing, and he's not going to be able to play music for a while. So,
should we get the lowdown on it? I mean, he just texted me, so he's up.
Oh, with his finger?
Yeah. Yeah, he always answers that Facebook thing that you do.
Yeah, but for some reason I don't have it open yet, so I got to open it and see if we can get him on the phone.
That reason being that it's probably 6 o'clock. Don't forget this morning at 8:20, we're going to give you an opportunity to win the download of S&M 2, Metallica, and the San Francisco Symphony. All you have to do is take your favorite cliche and turn it into a Metallica song. Because
just do a little James Hetfield impression, really.
Sad but true.
I mean, and the thing is too is that you
kill two birds with one stone.
If you don't have a cliche, we'll give you one because we printed out a bunch of them.
Now, are we eliminating the cliches as they go along?
Yeah, no. I
don't want the same ones. Though.
Okay,
I mean, that becomes very cliche.
2 pages of them. Yeah,
you get the same ones. You get redundancies and cliches.
We'll do that.
That's never a good thing.
We'll do that. But I think Matt's here. Matt,
I'm here. What's up,
dude? Stop posting, gory pictures of your chewed up finger on social media. I was scrolling through my feed. I was like, oh my god, it's disgusting.
It's pretty gnarly.
What did you do?
I was whittling for my daughters.
Oh, okay. Because I saw that you were posting like these little statues you were whittling.
Yeah. And I was trying to show them how to use a knife correctly.
Now, was it? I mean, you obviously probably didn't think that you were going to cut your finger almost off, and then you weren't going to be able to play music, which is what you do to make a living. So,
right.
What did your wife say when she found out that you cut your finger and you wouldn't be able to make any money playing music?
She was surprisingly sympathetic.
Oh, that's surprisingly.
Yes.
Why would you say surprisingly? Why would you say surprisingly? Because normally she calls you a moron, like my wife calls me an idiot.
Yeah.
You're just an idiot.
If I was like cutting my finger, like doing yard work or fixing a door in the house, I'd probably get more sympathy. But when you're whittling on the front porch, you don't get a lot of sympathy.
Now, you were doing something for your daughters, right?
Yeah, well, because they were doing school, and I was like, I've got like 3 hours of time where they're, I'm just kind of on standby as stay-at-home dad / teacher.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I was reading. I'm like, I'll try carving. I was like, this is going pretty good. And I'm like, as long as I'm safe about it. And like 4 of my friends are like, dude, you're gonna cut yourself. Like, just stop. And I'm like, no, I'm safe. I'm cutting away from myself. They're like, you're gonna cut yourself, dude. Like, just stop. And I was like, I'll be fine. And then I the one time I was telling him not to cut towards yourself, I'm like, I'll just cut towards myself this one time. And it just bounced off and just amputated the end of my finger.
Oof, that's bad. I cut the tip of my.
It stayed above the bone, so in theory, it's all going to grow back. I'll grow a new scar tissue fingertip, but it doesn't look like it right now.
Yeah, I cut like maybe a half of a centimeter off the tip of my thumb. It's just skin, though. I was sitting there cutting green onions, and I was like, I can go a little faster. I'm like, you're going to cut your thumb? And I was trying to keep my thumb down, and it slid out and
Now, what I don't understand
And what
is
sucks is it takes forever for that to heal.
when
Fingers
you
are tough.
when you text me the picture of that last week, you said that you could not find the piece to reattach it. How does that happen?
Like, because it cut, and I just like freaked out and like grabbed my hand. And funny thing is, like, I don't just my initial reaction whenever I cut myself, I throw it into my mouth. You know, I don't know, like to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And I threw my finger in my mouth, and I felt it with my tongue, and I was like, oh my god. Like, then I kind of got wind into shock a little bit. So then I just kind of came inside, just trying to walk and not pass out. And so I did. So we went back outside before we went to the hospital to find it, and I couldn't find it. And then got back from the hospital like 4 hours later, and my daughter's on the front porch, and she's all, "Oh, Dad, your fingertip!" And she picks it up, and it's like the full like fingerprint and the tip of the finger.
Oh, my gosh. So
Yeah.
what did the doctors say? Will that grow back?
Yeah, well, by the time we found that piece, it was like beef jerky. There's no way it was going back on.
Sure.
They said, it should regenerate. I mean, they referred me to some hand surgeons and a hand plastic surgeon, and I was like, well, what would you do? Like, what, I get there's other options, and I get that I play music for a living, but we're not relying on feeding my family. Thank God, my wife has a real job and has an income, so that we're not relying on me. But should be about 6 to 8 weeks of regeneration before it's like back, and then I got to rehab it and figure out how to play guitar with it, because now it's gonna be super sensitive. And I had calluses built up over the last 25 years from on my guitar playing hands, and now it's down to like just raw pink scar tissue.
Oh, yeah, that will take. I remember even when I cut the tip of my thumb off, that spot was sensitive for like 2 months, and it's finally now just starting to where I can touch it, and it doesn't feel funny.
Was it on your fretting hand or your strumming hand?
My strumming hand, I would be okay. You get all kinds of options, but it's in the cording hand, the fret hand. So it's funny. Che from Mother Cornshuckers already sent me a link to the site. It was like these guys that build like fake fingertips for people that have cut their fingers off
Really?
to play guitar. Yeah, they're like $100 to $500. I mean, it's a real thing, but.
Oh, because I was gonna recommend like a leather patch that you just kind of tie around your finger.
Yeah, they have it. I'm like, okay, other people have been stupid before too. This is awesome.
So what
And
was
it only costs $150 for the replacement.
Right?
What was it that you were whittling? It looked like some kind of voodoo doll or something.
Well, I did some like skull statues, because I was just like, at first I was just like, I didn't know what to do, and I was just trying some stuff out. And then someone's like, do a tiki statue. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I was doing a tiki statue for a friend, and it was coming along nicely until I cut my finger off. And now those are the 3 things I will carve in my life.
Yeah, never again, right?
Yeah, they're all on sale for $1,000 each to help pay my medical bills.
You should prominently display them at the pub. You walk into restaurants sometimes and they have like artwork on the wall, but there's like a price tag underneath the artwork.
Yeah, and you always look at it like, are you serious? That's a photo that somebody took on the Rock in Morro Bay, and they want $500 for this?
Would you get any blood on any of the tiki statues?
Well, someone came in, they're like, no, they're pretty cool. I'd buy one. They're all not for $1,000. I'm like, come on, there's only going to be 3 made ever, like by the artist.
Well,
Eventually
exactly.
they'll die.
Limited
Go through the
edition.
roof.
What was the cost of the emergency room visit when you went for your kidney stone, Jeff?
Well, it was like tens of thousands of dollars, but that's because I had insurance, so they knew that they had a source that they could go to. I think it differs from
You know what
case
the
to
best
case.
is? We just upped all our deductibles. We're like, oh, we'll save money on our insurance this year. We won't pay as much into it. We'll save it. So it was only $2,600 for them to wash off my finger and put a Band-Aid on it and tell me it would grow back.
Is that all they did? Really? They just cleaned it up and bandaged it and said, all right, good luck with your finger, jackass.
Yep. They're like, it's going to hurt for a long time. Just keep changing the bandage. Good luck.
How many times have you changed the bandage since it happened?
I've done it daily, but luckily one of our friends and neighbors is a nurse, and she's like, I'm gonna talk to my friend who's a wound specialist. She's like, you can check, because the last 2 days I get up and I'm just like stressed about changing it, because once the dressing's off, it's so, just exposed nerves. It's so painful that I have to like drip water like on my wrist or let it roll down over my finger to wash it off. And then
That sounds so bad.
You need to toughen up. Come on.
yeah, then I just put it back on. I just took a Norco to because it was just so gnarly. So I'll be watching Avatar and taking Norcos this week.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, what I wanted to ask you about the Broad Street Public House, I'm always talking about your grilled cheese sandwiches, because when you said that, it really stuck with me. And Jeff said, well, they don't do grilled cheese sandwich every day. So what days do you do grilled cheese sandwiches?
No, we do. We do grilled cheese every day.
Oh, okay. And what are the gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches you're doing?
It's not gourmet. We call it your mom's grilled cheese. It's like what your mom gave you when you were a kid.
Kraft?
buttermilk bread.
No, I'm telling you, my mom
American
never put
cheese
pickles
slices.
on a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, my mom just took 2 pieces of Wonder Bread, put butter on them, and put a couple pieces of Kraft singles in the middle, and that was my grilled cheese sandwich.
It's not far from that.
Well, that was pretty good though, because I haven't had that in a while.
Dude, it's amazing how well it goes with beers. And we've been throwing like pickles and jalapeno slices in there, and you've got some like options to like up your game a little bit. But
Jalapenos, pineapple, and pepper jack cheese. Oh, bacon.
that could be good.
Yeah,
See,
bacon.
now you're getting gourmet on me.
Well, whatever.
Hey, listen, we've always thought that, and just like the Festival of Convenience, it was just an idea that never came to fruition, but we always thought a grilled cheese sandwich festival would be a good idea.
I think so. I do.
I think somebody does do one.
Yeah, they're
I'm
doing it in
amazed
Los
how many we
Angeles.
sell. I thought this is going to be for COVID. And we've got food options, but people come in and get them all the time. We're also going to do a new PBR and PB&J special. $6 for a tall can of PBR and a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Nice.
Guess what? Doesn't go better with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich than a PBR.
And for no charge upgrade, we can throw potato chips on the peanut butter jelly sandwich, which is an amazing addition if you've ever had
That
it.
is a nice deal. Because I was at a place the other day, and I got a burger and fries and a soda, and it was a 16-ounce soda. If I wanted a refill, it was $1.
Wow.
What?
And I was like, really? You're charging for refills? You just charged me $3 to add the fries and the soda. Normally, you go to a fast food place, it's like 99 cents to upgrade that combo.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. Free chips when you get your PB with your PBR at the
PBR,
Broad Street Public
PB&J.
House. Yeah, PB&J. Sorry.
Fun promotions
So,
as
good.
always over there. One last question about the finger. Did you get any condolences from either Rich Ferguson or Dante when it happened?
Funny thing is, so Rich Ferguson he texted me on Facebook and said, "I feel bad for you, brother. Good luck." And Dante actually filled in for the gig I had to cancel the next day.
Look at that.
They both text each other
just
with,
waiting in the wings.
with the fist going down, going, "Yes, we got the son of a bitch. He can't do it 5 years in a row. Yes."
They're just waiting in the wings.
All right, Matt. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much. I'll keep you guys updated.
All right. Yeah, good. All right. Can't wait to see you again,
sorry
too.
to hear, man. I'm so sorry.
There goes Matt Cross, Entertainer of the Year 4 years in a row. Will he make it 5 with one of his fingers almost all the way amputated? Just the tip. I
Gotta
guess
get
we'll
some
have to wait and
sympathy
find
vote,
out.
right? He's got to get some sympathy vote.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
So I saw this and I thought, to me, this is almost a steal on the auction. Okay.
What are you on eBay?
No, I'm on just a story. They got a lock of President Lincoln's hair that was removed after his death that had blood on it,
Oh, gosh.
and it was wrapped
Why
up.
is this show starting off so gory?
And it wrapped up on it was wrapped up in a bloody telegram that carried the news of his assassination as a keepsake. It was given to Mary Todd Lincoln's cousin. He was a doctor at the time, Dr. Lyman Beecher Todd. But he was also a postmaster in Kentucky as well. I guess, you're pulling double duty as a doctor and as a postmaster. Two
Back
very
in the day,
prestigious jobs in your community, I would imagine.
Well, back in the day, you didn't have to be trained to be a doctor either. I mean,
Oh, you
the
didn't?
training was, back then,
Well,
no.
you told me about
there
a
was
guy
no
that
college.
cut
There
off
was
some
no,
guy's toe on his porch, and he's a doctor last week. So
had to be amputated.
anything
They had
goes.
to do it outside because the governor wouldn't let them do business inside.
Anything goes in the South, apparently. Yeah, so it was given to him. It was passed down over generation to generation. Well, now is going to be auctioned off on September 12th. What do you think the cost of President Lincoln's
Bloody
2-inch lock of his hair and that is wrapped up in a telegram that also has blood stains on it because it had the blood stain from the hair in the telegram?
Oh, I can only imagine it's worth thousands and thousands of dollars. It's so gross.
The pre-live bidding.
What does the telegram say? That was the announcement that he had been shot and killed?
Yeah.
So, that's a pretty, important piece of history.
Now, keep in mind, last week I saw that there was a sheep that fetched $490,000 at auction in the UK. It's some kind of weird sheep, but it was the most expensive sheep ever. The bidding started at like 36,000.
Yeah, see, before you said that,
it went way up to 490,000 because
I was going to say this would be around $500,000 for this piece of history.
one would think if the sheep is selling for 490,000, right? That's $500,000 almost for a sheep, a plentiful
How
animal
can they prove
on this planet.
I guess we're with the Telegraph and everything. How could you prove?
I think it's
though?
very documented. It's very documented that indeed this is the deal. R&R Auction estimates that this rare relic will ultimately sell for over $75,000. Wow. That is it. Sheep, 490,000. Piece of international history, really, when you think about who it was. Selling for $75,000.
One of our most famous presidents. Okay, so my question is, let's say you got the money. And it's obviously I guess there's two ways to look at this. You're either a historian, a big Lincoln fan, or you're just an investor who wants to invest in something.
Over $4 million. My net worth was over $4 million, and I had some money stashed away. I would make a bid for it around that.
And what do you do with it once you
have it?
No, where do you keep it?
You prominently
put it in a shoebox under your bed. You put it in the Cheerio the Cheerio cabinet.
I just can't believe it has only gone up that much in price over the what? How many? When was Lincoln assassinated? I mean,
shouldn't that belong in a museum somewhere?
Yeah, 1865. So you're talking about 155 years.
Shouldn't that be like in the Smithsonian or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So can you buy it and then put it in the Smithsonian and then they insure it? And it's still yours?
I think once you give it to the Smithsonian, it's theirs to keep. I don't think it is. I think that it is donated.
Well, maybe the Smithsonian will end up buying it. Gross.
What's gross about it?
He was killed.
155 years ago.
Killed is
yeah, but it's not like it's slathered in blood.
No, I
know. It just happens to have trace amounts of blood on it.
And obviously, it's something that's sealed, I'm sure, in a package because God forsakes. They wouldn't even let us, take our baseball cards out of packages. They're like, you're crazy to open that. Just keep it sealed up.
That's weird that you bring up baseball cards. There are baseball cards that have sold for more than a swath of President Lincoln's hair wrapped up in a telegram.
Do you have any collectibles? I have baseball cards and I have a piece of art.
I do have.
I have a piece of art.
You have the
cigar art.
A cigar thing.
And I have. I haven't even looked to see if that's probably hasn't had.
My wife found something the other day, and we're going to pass it. We're just going to give it to my son, but it's actually quite a nifty piece of Ken Griffey Jr. Memorabilia. Red Apple Markets was as a now out of business grocery chain in the Seattle area, and for promotion, when Ken Griffey Jr. made the team, they had a baseball card with him and his dad on it. Now, because they weren't licensed by Major League Baseball, they had to be wearing just nondescript uniforms. So Ken Griffey Sr. was wearing a blue uniform, and Ken Griffey Jr. was wearing a red uniform because at the time, I think he was playing in San Bernardino, which was the Mariners affiliate, their farm affiliate.
Uh-huh.
And they had, I think they were red in color. So, they had them side by side, and it said Ken Griffey, Jr. and Sr. on it. And it just said / and the Red Apple Markets. And then down below it attached is a perforated coupon for a pack of hot dogs for, I think, 59 cents. And a pin, a commemorative pin that was attached to it. And it is in this little plastic baggie that they would give you at checkout of when you bought groceries at Red Apple Market for a certain period of time. It was a promotional thing. We have no idea. I don't even think that's even something you could search out to see what it's worth. But he's first ballot Hall of Famer.
It's all what somebody will pay for it. Put it on eBay.
Yeah, I don't know.
What if you put it on eBay and it actually sold for $10,000 and you could put that towards your daughter's education or your son's education?
Well, that would really suck for my son because I was initially going to give it to him, not my daughter. So,
well, then give it.
But in the case of that, I'm sorry, you both get nothing.
Well, it's like Barry Bonds. I had his rookie card until we found out he's a druggie, and then
I know.
he's a cheater.
I know.
And just like
Thank
people
you,
that had
Barry.
Jose Canseco's
Thank
rookie.
you, Jose.
Before that, I
Thank you, Sammy.
should have
Thank you,
got
Mark.
rid of it. It should be worth more now, I think. But that's just because I have it. Anyways, what piece of art history do you have? 805-543-3693. You can call or text in.
Wake up. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy here online, KZOZ.com. Don't forget, we've got those downloads to check out Metallica. It's the S&M 2 album, the one they did with the San Francisco Symphony. And we're going to be giving those away coming up at 8:20. Want more details on how to win? Go to KZOZ.com.
So I'm a little upset at this news. The Japanese company, or a Japanese company, unveiled its prototype flying car to the public with
I saw that. I watched this video last night.
with a 4-minute test flight.
It's a giant, whatchamacallit, drone.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's just a big drone that somebody can sit in.
Heavy-powered drone. This is the problem that I have with this, okay? You can't tell me that we thought growing up that by this time, by the year 2000, we're actually 20 years late on a flying car, okay? The way I look at it. As the 10-year-old me that thought that by the time I was 25, there was going to be flying cars, I think I've been hosed on this prospect, okay? The car, for lack of a better term, but it's a drone, really.
Yeah, it's a
on a
one-person drone.
4-minute test flight. It's called SkyDrive Incorporated. And they did this 4-minute test flight with the drone. And it's being built as the world's smallest electrical vertical takeoff and landing model. And it took flight for 4 minutes. They say that they are working on a model that is capable of maintaining flight for about 10 minutes, and they're almost there with it. But they're now aiming to expand that time to 30 minutes, and they think that they'll have a commercially viable version of the car by the year 2023. You're telling me by 2023 that we'll have a car
2.5 years.
that could take us on a 30-minute flight?
Yeah,
Well, what happens when you get to where you're going?
exactly. Is it battery powered? Does it say? Is it ran on
Yes,
fuel?
it is electric. It's
Oh,
electric.
okay.
It's electric. So it's
See, what they need to really do, and this goes for everything, is they need to come up with a battery that can recharge really fast by solar. Once they figure that, and maybe the problem is there's no money in, like Tesla batteries and solar stations and all this stuff. But think about it. I mean, if you had a solar powered car, or you had a battery-powered car like a Tesla, but it could constantly be charging as long as it was in the garage, I mean, then wouldn't those be more convenient to own? You wouldn't have to go to a charging station. You wouldn't have to worry. Remember our intern Carson from last spring? She was like, I mean, granted, she had the first version practically or whatever, but she could only get from her house in Atascadero to the radio station in slow before she'd have to go charge it to get home. Mm-hmm. She could only go like 30, 40 minutes. And going up the grade versus going down the grade was a whole nother ballgame. So why couldn't they just make a car where you would never have to worry about one of these? I would think they would sell like hotcakes and everybody would have one. You would get rid of the emissions. You would save all that money on fuel. And services aren't, servicing your car, as long as they could, I guess maybe the technology isn't there yet. And you could have a drone that you could fly around in. But the call it a flying car, I thought was funny when I clicked on the video.
Because
I'm
it's
like,
not.
it's a drone.
Exactly.
It's a one-person drone.
My daughter is on this big kick right now. She wants to invent gum that will make you fly. And once she invents,
You've been watching Willy Wonka?
I don't know. Well, maybe that's where she gets the.
Remember they chewed the gum and they started floating?
She said, "I'm going to invent flying gum," and I was like, "Well, good. I hope you can. I mean, who knows? With technology, anything's possible." And she said, and then I'm going to give it to everybody for free. And I was like, no.
We need to have a talk.
No. Did you want to invent anything when you were a child?
I'm trying to think. No, I don't think so. I can't remember going back and.
I remember trying to dig a hole to China in Brian Bowman's backyard.
Yes, I think we all tried that.
Wheat bread, Brian Bowman's backyard. Mom would not let him eat white bread, but would let us dig the hell out of his yard.
I don't know if inventing things was a thing when we were a kid. I mean, I guess it probably was, but we built a lot of tree forts, and we were creative, but I never thought about like inventing something. I guess you can let us know. 805-543-3693.
Ever wonder what it's like to work with Jeff and Jeremy?
Why are you so cranky?
It's early. Let's be real with
All
people.
right, let's
okay?
be real.
Work with them at home on demand by subscribing to Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning, wherever you get your podcasts. All the benefits of working with them, with none of the smell. Oh, somebody light a match. Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning on 93.3 KZOZ.